I'm Natalia Staroprava. We continue our series of briefings at the Mediacentru Ukraine. With us, we have Dmytro Barinov, the deputy head of the Seaports Administration in charge of government relations. We know that the first vessel has left Odessa and has reached Istanbul. How did you plan the shipment? How did it all happen with the unblocking of the port and safe route planning until the destination point? Good day. The Seaports Administration of Ukraine, from the very start of the war, has been keeping the ports we control where we still have the access in proper condition. So renewing the operation wasn't that difficult, as the staff have daily made sure that the ports are in fit condition and are capable of resuming operation when the initiative was signed in Istanbul between Ukraine, the UN, and the Turkish Republic, and when the coordination center was set up in Istanbul. We were standing at the ready for the vessel to be designated for the route, for the safe passage to be approved to launch the vessel. This is a grand event for Ukraine and for the world as well, that Ukraine is back at the agrarian foodstuffs market as the first vessel has reached the territorial waters of Turkey and will travel onwards to the destination port of Tripoli in Lebanon. What do we know about the vessel? Where is it at the time? The weather conditions were adverse as it was leaving Ukraine close to the Romanian shores. So the vessel was held up slightly, but this morning it has arrived in the territorial waters of Turkey, and at 10 in the morning, the best I could see in the news, it had to go through the inspection so that it could be bound for the destination port. All is well at this hour, and let's see how it develops. What are the risks of its voyage to its destination? The risks are common, the navigation risks, the weather risks. Now it is in the territorial waters of Greece. It will head to the Marmara Sea and then onto the Mediterranean Sea. It's safe there, as these are the international waters with no Russian navy, no Russian aggression, no mines. So I would say that it's safe from this point of view. Ukraine has agreed to partially demine the routes. How safe is it for vessels to travel these routes? I'm not a military expert. The Seaports Administration in Ukraine is responsible for the condition of the ports. So we are accountable for the water territory, for the base, for the land-based infrastructure of the Ukrainian ports, whilst the Ukrainian military are responsible for the safety within our territorial waters. This is our mandate, and then our international partners, the UN and Turkey, have the remit to guarantee the safe passage of the vessels via designated routes. We have done everything on our part to load the vessel in due time for the navigators, for the tugboats to arrive in time. The vessel has reached has left the port, and we are waiting to receive the first signal to reach the community, the business community, that this route is operational, and then hopefully other vessels will leave the port. The other Ukrainian ports, Chernomorsk and Pivdennny, are also prepared to export to the Ukrainian agricultural produce. When will that happen? As I've been saying, it hinges on the decision of the Coordination Center working from Istanbul. Our ports stand prepared for uh, working with the international partners for dispatching the vessels. There are 16 vessels loaded with produce waiting for the final decision to be made by the Coordination Center. The final say is with the ship's captain and the ship's owner that yes, they're leaving the port. So this is why the three deep water ports, the largest in Ukraine, were designated that have the requisite terminals to load the agricultural produce on the vessels. And these vessels have been blocked from the beginning of the full-scale Russian aggression onto Ukraine, are ready to leave the ports and head to their destination ports. And yes, we are prepared to receive the ships. Going back to the ship which is currently staying in Istanbul, is it planning to return to Ukraine laden with humanitarian supplies or other produce? I would say that this Black Sea transit market is very attractive for the ship owners as the freight rates are high and they have a good profit to make. And if the ship owners would see that it is safe, that the vessel was given passage, has unloaded its cargo, and is ready to take on cargo or several loads of cargo. It is a question of the market, and it is for the ship owners to decide to instruct the captain, and then the vessel would head to the designated port. I would say that this signal will serve as a launch pad for the operation of our ports. What are the challenges and objectives for the Seaports Administration? What are your top priorities? Our top priorities are, even though we hope to see the Black Sea ports unblocked and working, our priorities are to work with the Danube ports, Izmail and Tirini, to amass the cargo traffic there over the Danube River, over the Romanian ports such as Constanța, to have alternative routes to export agricultural products that are badly needed at the world markets, and also to maintain our ports up and running for the businesses to be able to use them for the roads, the railway tracks, be in proper condition, for everything to be up and running, to prevent any technical or bureaucratic hindrances, to make navigation, environmental safety sound despite the marshal's law. And that calls for a massive effort. How will the situation change in Ukraine and in the entire world when the Ukrainian ports start operating as normal? This will be a massive relief for Ukraine. We will receive $1 billion a month from the operation of the ports, from the sale of the agricultural products. The money will flow to the farmers, to the agricultural producers, who will be in a good position to procure fuel, fertilizers, seed in order to sow for the next year. The money will flow to the port operators and logistic companies for their loading and uploading services. and the global community will benefit by receiving the so badly needed Ukrainian agricultural produce. We have an instrumental role to play on the global market. We are third suppliers of sunflower oil, we are third or fourth suppliers of corn, and the World Food Program depends heavily on Ukraine, and this is the UN program to support the poorer countries, some of the African countries where people are on the verge of starvation and can be rescued with Ukrainian food, and that will benefit and favor the global situation. Thank you. We talked to Dmytro Barinov, Deputy Head of the Seaports Administration in charge of the government relations. This is all we had for you for today. Please follow our announcements at the resources of the Media Center of Ukraine. Let's stay strong as